That is literally the password to my soul. So it is the final day, day 8 of the Backlist Readathon, and you guys, it has been a week. It feels like this week has been a month long. It feels like I've been so busy because it's taken a lot out of me. It is the final stretch. We're gonna finish our last book. We're gonna get things done, and we've got to do it before 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, because after that I will be sitting down and watching the Taylor Swift Eras Tour on Disney Plus. Am I still in my pajamas? Yes. I try to be as real with you as I possibly can, and that's what's gonna happen right now in this little second. I'm having a very bad self-image day. It comes with the territory of life, I would say. I tried on multiple different shirts, multiple different outfits, and I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't vibing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put on my comfies, and this is a fresh, clean, new pajama, okay? It's not the one that I slept in. So even though like that wouldn't really matter to me. But for the sake of cleanliness, I put on a fresh, clean one, and this is what I'm gonna wear all day today. So now that that's out of the way, these are like the ones from Walmart. I think the brand is called Joy Spun, and they have pockets. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's like a t-shirt gown situation. Yes, I have shorts on. Anyway, that is besides the point. Today is the last day of the Backlist Readathon, and you guys, I have finished, well, in these vlogs, I have finished 6 books thus far. Technically, one of them I only read half of during the Backlist Readathon because I read the first half before the Backlist Readathon started. Nevertheless, today we're reading another book. If you watched yesterday's vlog, you already know what it is. It is the new Lucinda Berry audiobook that JJ from Criminal Minds narrates. Or it's like one of those audiobooks where they act it out. I don't know if there's probably a name for that. I just don't know what it is. And there's 2 actresses that do it, and JJ, aka AJ Cook, is one of them, and I love her. So I'm really excited about this audiobook. I also really love Lucinda Berry, so it's gonna be good, right? It's gonna be good. This I found on Everend, which used to be known as Scribd. If you want to listen to it, you can listen to it there. I'll link my referral code down below. That'll get you, I think, 2 months free. So if you want to, you know, check it out, you can. So this is what I'm reading today. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to work on my crochet blanket that I started during this Backlist Readathon. That essentially is all of my plans. However, I have a stack of 6 books that I am going to be gifting to one of you guys in a giveaway. All you have to do in order to enter to win is to just be active in the comments on this video and then on Jacqueline's Day 8 video as well, and you'll be entered in to win. And I will pick the winner in 48 hours from the time this video goes live, and I will pin a comment with the winner once I choose that winner, and I'll also try to find you on Instagram if I can reach out to you. But that is all you have to do, and the winner will receive all 6 of these books. Really quick, I'll show you what they are. Your Guide to Not Getting Murdered by Maureen Johnson and Jay Cooper. This is just like a coffee table, bathroom type little fun book that you could read. The Searcher by Tanya French. Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. This book has been all over the thriller world on the TikTok. Now this one is an ARC, and it's more of like a true crime nonfiction type book. So All the Living and the Dead by Haley Campbell. From the embalmers to executioners, an exploration of the people who have made death their life's work. This just seems so interesting. I have the final copy, so I'm going to be gifting away this ARC. And the last 2 books are both by Karen Slaughter, and yes, they are both part of series. However, you don't have to read the entire series to read these, okay? So the first one is the second book in the Andrea Oliver duology situation. You do not have to read Pieces of Her in order to read this one, okay? The only thing is the characters from Pieces of Her are in this one. You definitely do not have to read it. This one's much better than Pieces of Her. And then we have the latest installment of the Will Trent series, After That Night. And you don't have to read the entire Will Trent series in order to read this. However, because the Will Trent series is kind of long, there's a lot of character development, a lot of relationship developments and things like that with Will and a few other of the main characters. So I would highly recommend you read these in order. with after that night, but you don't have to. Like if you just want to see if Karen Slaughter is for you, you can just read this alone. But it's so much better if you read it all together. Anyway, let me know, by the way, if you would like a Karen Slaughter reading guide. I've read all of her books. I can definitely do that for you and kind of deep dive and go through them. Don't forget also to comment on this video and comment on Jacqueline's video, and that's all you have to do to enter to win. Easy peasy. And I'm already getting together a box of goodies for a 1,000 subscriber giveaway if and when I do reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you aren't subscribed yet, you totally should be. Okay, back to our regular schedule programming. I forgot to even tell you what this book is about. Essentially, from my understanding, it is a recorded phone call of a suicide hotline, I believe. Suicide prevention hotline. Volunteer answers a call that turns her world upside down in this edge of your seat audio original thriller by the best-selling author of The Perfect Child and The Best of Friends, performed by AJ Cook from Criminal Minds and Tessa Albertson from Younger. And then it kind of just tells you what it's about. I'm not gonna read what it's about because for the most part I don't like to read synopses. It's 3.5 hours long. I'll probably, you know what, I'm probably not gonna speed it up, or if I do, it'll be very slightly, simply because I love AJ Cook and I want it to feel like she's reading it to me and not like Alvin and the Chipmunks is reading it to me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do that while I work on my crochet blankie that I have been working on, and yeah. I'll see you when I see you. Okay, so I have officially made it a third of a way into the book. I've also made it some more on my blankets, and I wanted to come on and tell you a little bit about the story and what's going on. So first, I did say that I thought this was just like a recording of a phone call conversation. That's not the case. It is kind of like that, but it's not fully. Like, you do get their phone call conversations, but you also get other stuff outside of that. We have our main character, Felicia, who is voiced by AJ Cook. And Felicia is a single mom and a lawyer by day, and then she volunteers at a suicide prevention hotline place in the evening times, right? So she is currently at this hotline place and she gets a phone call from this high school student who is frantically upset because something super tragic happened to her and was recorded and is being passed around the school. And she doesn't want her mom or like any other people to really find out about this. So she has taken a gun from her father's safe, and her plan is to unalive herself. So that's why she called Felicia. Well, as Felicia is getting information from this girl, she realizes that she is connected to this girl. That's all I'm gonna say about that part, because you need to listen to this, okay? The girl, as she continues to talk about her plan and like what happened in this, that, and the other, the girl gets freaked out because she's outside by herself at nighttime, and she goes to hang up the phone, and Felicia's like, no, wait, take my personal phone number and call me back because we need to figure this out. You know, I want to help you. Like, please call me back. Don't do what you want to do. And so she gives her phone number, and the girl hangs up. The next day, while Felicia is at her regular 9 to 5, her lawyer job, she gets a text message, and it's from the girl. And so she's then having this conversation with this girl via the text message and just finding out more information. Things are clicking into place. Yeah. So you do get their phone conversations, their text exchanges, but you also get to see Felicia live her life as well, as she's also trying to figure out what's really going on behind the scenes, what she can do, because the girl, the next day, like when she's texting Felicia, the girl admits that she has changed her plan and she's going to get revenge before she unalives herself. And so now we have even more lives at stake here. And so it's just getting a little dark, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm probably not gonna go too much more into detail about what's going on in the book because it is such a short audiobook. But I do think if you are a fan of Lucinda Berry, you probably already know that you're gonna love this book because you probably already love Lucinda Berry. But you know how Lucinda Berry likes to do those moral, if you know, you know. And that's giving this book is giving those vibes. I don't know how to explain it, but that's how I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna keep listening and keep working on my blanket and it is getting dark outside. It is not nighttime. Nay, it's gonna storm. Today is gonna be, I know I said before this week, it's lazy bones day. Today's literally the definition of that. I have done nothing all day today. I edited my previous vlog. I made lunch. We went outside for like an hour and then the weather wasn't doing so great, and I've just been chilling and doing nothing, and it's already almost 4 o'clock. It is literally 3:36, which means I need to finish this book because I have to end this vlog around 7 o'clock. Let me let you go while I finish this book. Okay, so I finished the book, and before I tell you my rating, I do want to say that I do rate short stories a little differently than I would a full-length novel, because in a full-length novel, I expect there to be some character development, some background on some things, and just like delve more into stuff and more description on things, and you can't really get that with a short story most of the time. So I do take that into consideration. So for a short story, I am giving this 4 stars. I truly enjoyed it. It is a little bit disturbing. If you are a Lucinda Berry reader, then you probably already know her main themes that she likes to write about, and those are also in this short story. I do wish that this could have been a full-length novel. It could have very well been an easy 5-star for me. It was really good. It was very sad coming from my mama heart, I guess you would say. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, all in all, I think it is worth a listen to, especially if you are a fan of Lucinda Berry. The only thing that would have changed my opinion on 5-star, though it was a little bit shocking at the end, like you kind of knew what was gonna happen. I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, but I do wish it would have went out with a complete bang, like a complete, like, you know, moment. It would have gotten a 5-star. And Lucinda Berry has done that a couple of times in some of her books. And in some of her books, it's just very like, here's the story. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's my thought on that. While I listened to it, I did clean up my little, you can't see, I'm working on cleaning up my little cross stitch station. I'm almost done, which brings me back to the other day when I showed you guys my Taylor Swift cross stitch project. I had, it could have been just one person, but I think it might have been more than one person wanting to see some more of my projects. I'm not going to show you every project because I have like probably 50 on the reel. But I'll show you a couple of my favorites. So I don't know if you can catch a little glimpse here of this picture. This is actually taken from a cross stitch kit. I love the picture so much I went ahead and hung that up here until I can finish the actual project, get it framed and hung up. I'll put a clear picture right here. This is Lady and the Unicorn by Thea Gouvenier, and this is like inspired by the actual Lady and the Unicorn tapestries that are out there. I think there's like 6 or 7 of them. I bought this kit on Amazon, so it is with the fabric and stuff that came in the kit. This is where I'm at, so I have a long way to go, but as you can tell, this is gonna be ginormous. I'm just doing that little center part there, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty big and I cannot wait. This is one of my all-time favorite projects. It reminds me so much of art that you would find if you go into anthropology or something like that. I just absolutely love it and I can't wait to finish this. It's probably gonna take me a very long time because it is very massive. This next one is in a Christmas themed bag. This is probably my project that is the furthest along. This is a Santa Claus pattern that is by the company called Lavender and Lace. I'll pop a picture up right here of what it will look like when I'm finished, and I'm hoping to get it finished by maybe like by September-ish, so I can go get it framed and then have it hung up this coming Christmas season. But this is where I'm at so far, and this one, typically when you do cross-stitch projects like this, you do sign your name on it. like with the thread, you either put like your initials or your name and the year that it was done. And I'm definitely gonna do that on this one because I'm hoping this one will be something that eventually in the long run my kids will take it and it'll be hung in their homes for my grandbabies to see. Like, I am all about heirlooms and things to hand down to my kids, just like my library eventually will be my kids' library, you know? I have so many good ones, it's hard to pick which ones to show you. So this next one is a Christmas sampler, and in this sampler you take the initials that the designer put in and you put your own there. So in this one I will put my initials, my husband's, and my 2 kids all around the sampler so that it means something to us and that it can eventually, you know, be a family heirloom that is passed around. But this is how much I've got done on this one so far. I love how vintagey this looks, and I'm hoping that when I get it framed, because I'm gonna bring it to like Michael's or somewhere, because when you frame cross stitch, they have to do it in a particular way to not only preserve the stitches so that they can last for many years, but to make sure that it stays in place properly. I'm hoping I can find a really pretty frame that looks pretty vintage that'll go good with this. And this is just called the Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs, and it comes in this little pamphlet here that comes with a bunch of other primitive looking things to create. Not all of my stuff is things that are going to be I don't know what you would call it, but this one is an example. This is called Judith by Heaven and Earth Designs. It does have boobies in it, but that's fine. I like it. And when it's done, I'm gonna frame it and it'll be hung in mine and my husband's bedroom. This is a full coverage piece, so there won't be any white space when I'm done. It'll be completely all stitched up. All I have done so far is this corner that you can see is part of the curtain. You know, I do some pieces that I do expect my kids to love and cherish and pass on to their kids, kind of like we were in Little House on the Prairie. And then I have other pieces, not just this one, I have many more pieces that are more modern. I have bookish pieces, I have a few Harry Potter pieces, I have a bookshelf piece, I have many different pieces, but I'm gonna show you one more and then you'll just have to let me know. I thought about bringing cross stitch into this channel and maybe doing like one cross stitch video per month where I update you on progress that I've made or things that I've acquired, things that I have finished, and things like that. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I know there is an entire cross stitch community on YouTube and I have made videos specifically for that community, but holding 2 or 3 channels is a lot of work and I would just prefer it to be all in one spot. But I'm going to show you one more and then we'll go ahead and wrap this booktube, no, why do I keep calling it that, this Backlist Readathon up. So let me show you one more. So this one is housed in a Stephen King themed bag because it is a Stephen King themed cross stitch piece. Again, I have them, they're all over the board. I have so many different kinds. And this is from, I purchased this pattern off Etsy from a shop called The Witchy Stitcher. She has really cute like Halloween / horror themed stuff, but this is where I'm at on this one. You can see the infamous carpet, Carrie there, and then I'm working on filling in the roof of Stephen King's house. I am completely obsessed, and then it says based on a novel by Stephen King. So this is going to be really fun when I get to finish and frame this one. I'm hoping to put it here in my book room. Back to the readathon wrap up. So with this readathon, we had 6 prompts and I fulfilled all 6. But before we dive into those, I did finish one book on the first day of the readathon that wasn't a part of the 6 prompts. I finished the second half of Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey, and honestly, this was very not my vibe. I gave it 2 stars. Wasn't it for me. Wasn't it, babe? And then the second book that I finished was Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, and this fulfilled the prompt of reading a book that you constantly are borrowing from the library and just never getting to. Now, I would constantly borrow this from Libby, that Libby app. It would get sent back, and then I would request it again, it would get sent back, until finally I listened to it and I rated this 5 stars. I love Matthew McConaughey, I love his movies, I love his accent, I love him, and apparently I love his book too. And I do want to get the physical form of this because I would really love to go in and just kind of tab a bunch of things, because he had so many great like quotes and things in this book. It was phenomenal. Up next, I read The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, and this fulfilled the prompt of being a Goodreads nominee for 2019. This was a Goodreads nominee. I rated this book 4.5 stars. It wasn't like the best romance in the world, okay? I really appreciated how much the author talked about mental health and PTSD, especially after coming out of a very narcissistic, gaslit relationship. I really appreciated that. I've gone through that before as well, and it made me appreciate it so much more. The next book that I read, I keep forgetting the title of. It is called The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. Now, I slotted this in the hyped up on social media slot, and now it's not hyped up on TikTok or anything like that, but I'm probably cheating here, but Jacqueline was reading this during the readathon, and she was talking about it in the Discord, and apparently so many people in the Discord had also read this, and they were all talking about it. Some really loved it, some didn't like it, and so I was like, you know what? I've been influenced, I'm gonna read it. And so I put this in that category because technically it was social media, and I rated this book 4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. This is a historical fiction mystery book, okay? It just ticked off a bunch of things that I really like in my mystery slash thriller books. It had that in there, and I enjoyed it for that. I will say, I think if you do read this book, look into the Willowbrook ward or school or whatever, because it is a real life thing. It happened, and it is very dark and disturbing, and I think you would appreciate the story more, or like understand. I don't know. I just think you should look up that, read a little article on it, watch a little documentary or whatever it is you're gonna do, and then dive into this. And this also has like an urban legend situation mixed in there as well. So it's like it's a mix of like historical fiction, urban legend, mystery type book. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. And then I read Confessions, and I read this one because this book had an even number of pages. And I went into this book and I wasn't really enjoying it at first, but then I backtracked, and holy guacamole, 5 stars, babe. This book was so good. It's good. It's good writing. It's a good book, and it's translated work. Anyway, I gave it 5 stars. And then last night I read The Crucifix Killer by Chris Carter. This was slotted in the 5-star prediction because when I tell people the types of books that I like, especially like the thriller books, and the things that I look for in a thriller, the things that I enjoy in a thriller, this is probably the most common recommendation that I get. So many people tell me to read this book, which is why I put it in my 5-star prediction category. And spoiler alert, I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love it, and I will be continuing on in this series. It is so dark, disturbing, gritty, and when I say like dark and disturbing, I'm saying for a thriller, okay? This is not like extreme horror. This is a thriller, but it is pretty dark for a thriller in my opinion. So I loved it. And then of course, lastly, I listened to One of Our Own by Lucinda Berry, and I gave it 4 stars. It was a short story that I listened to on audio, and I quite enjoyed it, and I appreciate a good short story, especially when it can tick off, you know, a mark in my readathon. But yeah, anyway, that is the Backlist Readathon, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like today's vlog really sucked, but I'm just not vibing today. I'm not having a good mental space day, whatever words. It is storming outside. It is dark, okay? Even with the time change, it is dark because of how bad it's storming. My anxiety is through the roof. I just needed a day of doing nothing, eventually, essentially, whatever the words are. And that's what I did. Anyway, don't forget to leave a comment down below if you would like to be entered in a chance to win the box of books. Again, I will close the giveaway in about 48 hours and let the person know who won. Yeah, that is that. I do hope that you enjoyed these vlogs, and I hope that you decide to stick around, be my bestie, read some books with me. I have some fun things coming, including another readathon next month in April. That's going to be really fun, so stick around. And until then, I will see you, hopefully. I have plans for my next video to be on Wednesday, so if all goes right, I'll see you guys. I'll see you Wednesday.